Greetings, citizens of the galaxy. Welcome to Swtor Gaming.
Welcome.
I believe the Force has guided you to me.
Who we truly are is defined by our actions.
Well, no, citizens of the galaxy, I am Swtor Gaming. And I gotta tell you, I love this show. This show is very much Star Wars, and we come back in this episode to our beloved background for A New Hope, Tatooine. I know some people might have said, hey, I'm tired of seeing the same type of planets over and over again, but, without having a sandy planet, it just doesn't seem like Star Wars. I mean, you saw the effect it had in Force Awakens. You have some detractors of that. We did see a completely different episode, so it might have taken some people out of that Star Wars feel, but seeing the dude back in this episode, seeing the Cantina, and it's interesting now, if you remember The New Hope, Luke brought R2D2 and C3PO, and the guy says no droids, but you see the Cantina. I'm not exactly sure if it's Mos Eisley or Mos Illa. There's different, although we see Mos Eisley, Spaceport, there's different places, like Mos Anik across Tatooine, so I'm not exactly sure where they were, but they're on Tatooine, and we see the dewback, and we see different things that are very familiar to us in the Star Wars landscape. This episode also we're introduced to a novice bounty hunter. He's about to have his first, he's got his first bounty puck, and it's a really tough one. It's Ming-Na Wen's character. Don't exactly remember her name. I'll probably put it in post when I fix it, and I go back and see it, because this is my initial reaction. And we see her character, her face appear on the hockey puck. Mandalorian's looking for a little bit of money because his ship actually got shot down by, looks like it was an A-Wing. Someone could correct me in the comments below, but it looks like it was an A-Wing, and I guess the guy was a former Rebel pilot because he's wearing the orange and white jumpsuit of a Rebel pilot. So I thought it was an A-Wing. Maybe it was a little bit different. We've seen in Star Wars Resistance they have similar, some ships similar to that. But it's now a different galaxy post the fall of the Empire, and obviously Baby Yoda has a big bounty on him, as does the Mandalorian, Din Djarin. I think it's Din Djarin is his name. So he needs to pay for ship repairs. He doesn't crash land. He somehow miraculously, that's one thing I'd have to say, because Dave Filoni directed his episode. As much as he got shot, his ship got shot on, it was kind of hard to believe he had no trouble landing, and that would be my only, I guess, criticism. It was really hard to believe when they were doing it. The hull should have been smoking. I mean, yeah, you had the mechanic, this older woman has little droids that we see, those the ones we saw in Phantom Menace, the ones that Jar Jar was messing with, and little Annie tells him to tap him on the head. You see 3 of those droids that were coming to fix the ship, but again, Din Djarin's like, no droids. He shoots a blast on one and folds back into, that little tin cans that fold. I'll have to see if I can put a picture in there so you'll see it. It was pretty cool. I think I really enjoyed Ming-Na Wen's character. They go after her. She's, pretty much shooting at them. Good thing the Mando is wearing his best car because he takes like 5 or 6 sniper shots. No, probably more like 3. I'm exaggerating. But she's a force. If you guys have seen her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she's really good at action. So he takes the sniper a couple shots and distracts them while shooting up a flare and in the night sky, because they decide that they're going to try to go after her, and so they're trying to distract her because of course it's night and she's got a snipe, she's got them in her sights. She's shooting off sniper volleys, and they're trying to avoid it by just shooting up a flash grenade, pretty much blinding her. So every time a flash grenade goes, she has to look away. Finally, the Mandalorian takes a shot to the chest, which allows, his speeder gets shot, and he hits the ground, And before she can take out the novice bounty hunter, he shoots up another flash grenade, which allows him to sneak behind her and, say, hey, hands off the rifle. Then Ming-Na Wen starts kicking all kinds of ass. And while that's going on, he gets unarmed. She pretty much puts him in an arm bar. My criticism of this scene would be it was a little too dark. You see a little bit more light right afterwards, but they could have easily put a little bit more light into this scene so we could see the action a little bit more clearly. I understand where you want to give it that kind of authenticity, but seeing that this is Tatooine and they have 2 sons, I mean, come on. I mean, there should have been something. And it was very weird. I mean, I knew Tatooine had 2 sons, but I didn't know they had 2 moons. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to, I guess, bonafide to bone up more on my Star Wars lore. I mean, go figure. But anyway, being that they have 2 moons, you would be able to think that there would be a little bit more brighter than it actually was. And the scene got brighter when Ming-Na Wen's character's got the novice bounty hunter in an armbar, and the Mandalorian has his blaster in hand, telling the kid, "I'll take her back. I'll get the bounty. I'll give you the credit." And he's like, "No, you're not taking off with the bounty at my speeder and leaving me stuck here." He's not that dumb. So he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go get the dude back, and you can wait right here." So they're just talking about, Ming-Na Wen's character, the assassin, are talking about the bounty hunter on Navarro, which the Bounty Brokers Association was on that planet. And so he tells her, "I heard about something that happened with Mandalorians in Navarro, but it seems that you made it out all right." So she knows, and now he's gone off, I guess, to get the other dude back. And he said, "Watch her, make sure you don't let her near the bike, because being dead will be no good for all of us." So they're waiting, and then the assassin, Ming-Na Wen's character, is telling her, like, "Look, you have something in your midst that is more important, more valuable than me. The best scar that the Mandalorian has, plus he's carrying the Mandalorian and the package. This little child probably has a huge bounty on it." And so, because of that, she's kind of instigating, trying to play him off each other so she can escape. He says, "Well, looks like he's calling the shots, and you're not." He's like, "Well, you're my bounty. I'm going to get in the Bounty Brokers Association." And she explains exactly what I just said about he having, without realizing, it's something more important to the Bounty Brokers Association. So he's thinking about it, looking at her, like, "You sure it's this Mandalorian?" The novice bounty hunter goes, "Yeah, man, they probably welcome you with open arms if you brought that Mandalorian in and recaptured." And he's thinking about it. Walking around, looking, see the sun is going down, he's waiting for him. He's like, "How are you sure it's the right one?" "I have a child with him that he took." And then he's remembering the Baby Yoda, I think. He's like, "If you want to get in, this is the best way." She's convincing him. He's not sure what to do, but he really wants to get into this Bounty Brokers Association badly. So he's like, "Well, I guess you're right." Ming-Na Wen puts her, she says, "Come closer." And she waits for him to uncuff her. And boom, he pulls out and just gives her a blaster shot. Ming-Na Wen's acting is really good. She looks horrified. He's like, "Well, look, if I can get so much more prestige and reputation from getting the Mandalorian and the Baby Yoda, what do I need you for?" So, got shot with a blaster looks similar to Han Solo's blaster. I have to look at it, but looks very similar. Yep. Which is pretty much like the Desert Eagle of Star Wars, I would say. The hand cannon. No, he's racing right back. No. Mandalorian didn't go to get a speeder. He went to get the dude back. And then what you saw glinting in the background was a key fob. I was mistaken. So he comes all the way back, sees the bounty dead, and he's putting 2 and 2 together. He's like, "Oh no." Yep. He's finally, it's dusk. On the dude back, he makes his way back, and everything seems quiet. So he's walking in, sees the guy's speeder, pulls out his blaster, he's checking everything out. He already knows if he's betrayed him, he's going to want more than just him. All the droids are hiding. You see a couple of droids run past him, and they pop down to hide. He's He's just stalking the place, checking around, and all of a sudden he sees him coming down from a ramp of his ship with the engineer and Baby Yoda in hand, gun blaster pointed at her back. Novice bounty hunter tells him to drop his blaster. He puts it down. Then the novice bounty hunter tells the engineering lady to handcuff him. He tells him, "You're a traitor." And as he's about to cuff him, in his hand, he's got a flash grenade, and he has a gun pointed at him. He's like, "Pretty much, you're gonna make me famous." And novice bounty hunter's about to shoot, and he pressed the button for the flash grenade, and he's temporarily blinded. Moves to his side, blasts him. Baby Yoda looks like he's gone. It's smart, because it's like we've been all talking about, like even on Collider Live, they're talking about, what would you rather see, this or Baby Yoda die? So first we think, oh man, something happened to the baby, and he escaped. I tell you what, that could be another thing. We may not be able to see every little thing, but knowing that Baby Yoda is Force sensitive, he disappeared very quickly. Did he use Force speed? Did he use Force leap? We don't know. Did he just drop? That's what most people are going to say. Until they see something, they're just going to say, assume they drop him. But we can't assume either way. And that's one of the things. Some people say, don't get overly excited. Yeah, don't get overly excited. But at the same time, don't assume that nothing happened. You can't do either. That's all. I'm leaving it open-ended. Did he escape using the Force, or was he just dropped? So then the engineer goes, I bet. So you probably didn't get paid. And then all of a sudden, she dumps all the credit sticks, I guess, into her hands. He takes Baby Yoda and goes up the ramp, and the droids are hiding out. The ship ramp raises, the engines go off. He's lifting off. All of a sudden, he blasts off back in outer space. And that's our episode. Wait, we're not done yet. Somebody with a cape and some boots is walking right near Ming-Na Wen's character, knelt down, and it fades to black. Which is interesting. I'm wondering, because it is Tatooine, and some people were hinting towards, we see something, is that Boba Fett? Is it possible that that's Boba Fett? We won't know. So, that's been the show. Tell me, guys, what you think in the comments below. I don't know, I think it's been pretty good as far as what I think. But, hey, if you enjoyed the show, leave your comments in the space below. If you didn't like the show, leave your space in the comments below, and I'll respond to them. We should be able to talk about this, debate about this. For me, it's been quieting down slowly, a little bit less action. There are some action sequences, but I'd like to say with this episode, I'm seeing certain things that other people are talking about, problems that Dave Filoni has. As goofy as the character was of the novice bounty hunter, certain things work better in an animated series than they do in live action to get across. To me, I would say he would seem like he's a farm boy that became a bounty hunter, But to get a bounty puck like that, it's a little hard for me to believe. Anyway, may the Force of your will further your destiny, always. Hey guys, also let me know what kind of videos you want to see. I have very little time, a lot of times to create these videos. My Revan series has done very well, so you guys have responded to that. Surprisingly, my Anakin Skywalker video I did for Swtor is one of the highest rated videos, and I thought it was crappy, The editing I had to do for it, because when I first started recording this footage, originally I would be able to listen to whatever music I wanted and play games. I used to listen to audiobooks and play as well on the side, and I realized that somewhere down the line I couldn't do that anymore, and it would, whatever audio I would play while playing the game, in-game, if I open up Audible and I was listening to something while I was playing the game, it would record the audio from Audible. So I had lots of different shows from that, or also other YouTube shows that were recorded while I was playing the game, which means I had a lot of footage I wasn't able to use. But this is what I'm going to try to do also. I have a character that's kind of based off of me and how I look, and I will use my voice to voice that character, and see if you guys like that too. I don't have the most appealing voice all the time, but, you know, I think I do the best I can. I don't think anybody likes your voice when it's recorded. But, you know, I'll try to keep putting out content. You guys let me know. That's why it's important you guys comment on my videos. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, besides trolling, you know. But letting me know what you like, what do you think, what you want to see, and what can be better. You know, because I've only been out there since May. If I knew that this is something I would really, really get into, that even I could, you know, set up a YouTube video and that people would actually watch something, and I'm very humbled. I'm very humbled and thankful you guys even pay attention to anything that I do. Really am. I appreciate it. I'm not getting paid to do any of this stuff. I'm doing it because I'm passionate about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. It was something that my dad introduced me to when I was a little boy, and I watched A New Hope on VHS. I saw Return of the Jedi in theaters when I was a little baby. Then I saw it again in VHS, and then Laserdisc, and then the DVDs. You know, all the science fiction movies of the time. You know, we go through Total Recall, Terminator, Alien. I grew up with all those movies, man. I was a huge movie buff when I was a kid. And one thing that Star Wars has always been big in my life. It represents that time, you know, being with my family. You know, it's something that I really love. You know, hope, darkness, the struggle, the internal struggle we all have. You know, mastering our own self, going through difficulties and overcoming. You know, there's times where we lose hope. There's times where we gain hope. And I think it's all played out in Star Wars Saga. So, I mean, this is something that's really big for me. And I appreciate all of you, honestly, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, that you guys will listen to anything I put out, even though it's not always the best. I appreciate it. So thank you all. So until next time, may the Force you will further your destiny. Always.